So this photo was kindly sent to me by Tony. It's a nice little composition. We've got our little lake here and some distant trees there. You can't really see many reflections, but I might stick some in anyway. Big tree trunk and on either side to frame it nicely. A few rocks here in the foreground, give it a bit of depth. So let's have a look at the materials before I make a start on this one. Got my usual muddy palette, but it does work. We've got ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber, light red. They're all squeezed out Cotman watercolour tubes. Got the... There's a few, I don't use most of these. The main ones I use is the large one Ranson Ake. Got a 3/4 inch flat and a number 3 rigger. We got our collapsible water pot, which you'll find, I bought this on eBay, you should see them on there if you have a look. 15 by 11 Fabriano watercolour paper, clipped to a 9mm piece of ply with these big bulldog clips. Keeps it steady, you can't give it anywhere. And the other thing I got here is a tea towel, just to wipe the excess water off, to keep the volume of the water down on the hake, make it easy to use. So let's start as always, giving the paper a good soaking all over, nice and even, so that way even with this fairly thin paper, £130, it's not the sort of industry standard of 140, which I think a lot of artists use. And because it's wet all over evenly, you can get away with it because it will stretch evenly so it won't get crinkled. So with that in, I'll then tend to go for a bit of raw sienna, just a nice sort of neutral colour. Just you can use it everywhere, in your skies, in your land, pretty much everywhere. Sort of get that down, hit and miss. Don't do it all evenly. Leave little gaps here and there, and then let's put a bit of blue for the sky in. Maybe a touch of Payne's grey again, and then what I might do is just sort of brush it from there and try and leave a sort of light a bit down the middle, just to keep it interesting. I'm also watching for bits of paint that are dropping down. I'm just catching them as I go along. You can see it here, just very lightly, trying to stop those drips coming all the way down the page. Maybe a bit darker. Let's just brush it in a bit more. Again, coming in from the side. You've got until the paper starts to dry to do this. You can either stop then or let it dry and re-wet it, but I might just leave it at that for now, I think. So using the same two colours, let's do the most distant of the trees. Say where I'm putting the line, about there I think, somewhere like that. And then I'm pulling down the reflections as I'm going along. Maybe introduce a little bit of, just dipping the tips in just to bring the hairs back together. Let's just go with a bit of lemon yellow, make it a bit more green. A few there. I'm not looking to structure it exactly as the picture is, I'm sort of using a bit of artistic license. And just pulling it down as I go along. Maybe on this side. Yeah, lemon yellow. And then going into the corner, bit of ultramarine. And down the reflections. It's a lot easier doing it that way than doing that, then re-wetting it and then having to try and replicate the same colours. Same over on this side. Trying to keep it all level. Something like so. And then not forgetting those reflections, pull them right down. A bit of light red just to change it a little bit in there. And again, just pulling them down. So that's sort of most distant part in. Just looking at it now. Maybe a few little tree trunks here and there, just to give the impression of trees growing. And don't forget the reflections. Big one up there. That'll do something like that. You don't want to overdo it. Paper stretch slightly. You can see how it's coming away from the board. So we don't want it flapping around. Pull it tight and refix it, and we're good to go again. So that's our sort of background. Yeah, nice little backdrop. So having another look. I'm just dipping the tips in just so I've got that nice chisel edge again. And then I'm going to put that left hand tree trunk in. So I'm doing Payne's grey, burnt umber, ultramarine, see, I've got more water on the brush now. You can see how all the hairs are staying together really easily as I do this. Although not enough, I still haven't got it swishing around on the palette. And then something like that, and then we got our trunk going right up there. And there's another one like that. It's actually a bit wider than that, isn't it? Let's just stick another bit, something like that going off. And you've got the same on the right hand side. Starting off a little smaller one, this one's further away. Again, it still goes right off into the top of the scene, a bit wider. And then there's another one just to the right of that. This one's a bit nearer. Again, don't be afraid to sort of do one over the top of the other. That's how they grow in nature. Something like that. I'm going to switch to the rigger. Same two colours, plenty of water, really sort of inky mix like that. And it starts to, we've just got a few like little bits coming down off the top like that. Don't be afraid to paint over that nice background. Always works well. See how dark these are now? They're almost silhouetted. Put them over the lighter area of the sky. See if some come down like that. See how you get a nice bit of contrast there. Big one coming down, something like so. And then what I'm going to do now is clean the brush. Let's put a few leaves on there. I've cleaned the brush, scuffed it up. So we've got our hairs going all over the place. And then just dab into your sort of greeny colours. So I'm doing ultramarine, lemon yellow, raw sienna. That is a bit dirty, to be fair. Back a bit more yellow, I think. It's a bit more greeny. And then just dab it in. Don't block it in. You don't want too much water when you do this. In fact, you hardly want any water. Otherwise, you'll just block it straight and you won't be able to see the background. See, it's going into a bit of Payne's grey. A bit of variation. You always want at least more than one colour. Scuff those hairs up a bit more. See, you want them going everywhere. Lemon yellow, Payne's grey, sort of nice and dark there. Let's really get some dark colour on there now. Don't overdo it too much. More around there. A bit darker. Don't want to cover up too much of that. Let's leave a nice sort of view that the viewer can see through. Now what I might do, so I might put a bit of a shore grain. You can't see it in the photo, but I think it'll just a bit of shore, just to give us something to stand on. But the first thing I'm going to do is these rocks. Now on the sort of foreground left-hand side, we've got some rocks. So I'm going straight into the darker colour again. Burnt umber, bit of ultramarine. Let's just put some sort of random rock shapes in. Something like that. And we can take out, I can't see my piece of card. So I'm just going to use my Bob Ross knife. Anything with the sharp corner will do. So I put that up nice and thick, not without too much water. That means I ain't got to hang around waiting for it to dry. I can just go straight in and scrape it out. So rocks, just a very simple. And just trying to keep it sort of, don't want to overdo it, like it's so easy to overdo it. Remember, if you do overdo it, just paint straight over it, it's no hardship. But yeah, I'm alright with that. I think I'll let that go. I just suggest a bit of a shoreline here. And a quick sweep. Hang on, I'm just going to clean the brush. It's almost black. Slightly forward this shore. Might even just slope it downwards, give it that sort of, it's just as if it's sort of sloping down to the shore. A few grasses maybe, even we can sort of just flick up like that. The impression there's a bit of grass growing on the shore. Clean the brush again, it's gone too dark. Bit of raw sienna. Lemon yellow, there you go. Ultramarine. A few more grasses there. And you can even get in there and flick a few up. It's almost dry now, so I'm not really got one or two in. Switch to the rigger. Again, whenever you're using the rigger, you want plenty of water. Let's flick a few little bits of grass up. Bit more water. It's coming off the brush really well. I'll do maybe a few on this side as well. A few bigger ones. And a few a little bit darker. Remember, plenty of water. Oh, there's a few little rocks down here as well. Just going to do these ones really small. Again, like I said, if you overdo it, just paint straight over it. In fact, I'll overdo it deliberately just so you can see. So I'll just do too many. Just get the ache. And then just go straight over it. And just leave a few so it's a nice sort of subtle effect. I think what I might just try and do is just clean the brush again, dry it, scuff it up, and just try and get just go into the red, blue, and umber, and just try on the side just to check. Just a few little flowers and things growing on the end of these reeds. And a few more over there. And then it just comes in handy just to fill in any little gaps that you're not really happy with. Something like that. Also use them to go over a few rocks if you've overdone it. Also it's a nice little splash of colour, a bit of red in the foreground. Again, just keep stopping, just do a few dabs, stop, take a look at it just before you overdo it. And try and vary the height as well, don't just have them all exactly the same height because it just looks a bit bland. I think that'll do it. I'm quite happy with that. Just one little thing, let's just stick a couple of birds in the sky. Just a couple of birds up there somewhere. I think I'll call that one finished. So back with the rigger. Dark colour. Let's just find a corner I can stick my signature somewhere. And let's just have a closer look at it. So here's our finished painting. Let's see how it compares to the photograph. So you can see I've changed one or two things. I've not copied it slavishly. You can see I've put a bit of a foreground shore in. Try to open up this gap down the middle a bit more and try and create some sort of light. If you remember brushing the colour in from either side, trying to create this light coming down the centre, reflected into the water as well, and then putting the distant trees in same colour as the sky, I'll push them right back into the far distance. Using the large hake you can quickly put in these big trees and trunks with little effort. Another one over here on the right hand side, and between the two of them they sort of help frame the picture quite nicely. You can see these rocks here on the left hand foreshore. And using the hake brush, get the colour nice and dark and then scrape it out to create our nice lighter coloured rocks with a nice bit of contrast. A few more over on the right hand side, smaller ones. I mean, try and keep them subtle. If you overdo it, just paint straight over them. Try to add a bit more interest with these reeds now, nice little bits of flowers growing on the top of them. It's so easy to do, but it helps add a bit of colour and a bit of life to the foreground. The little bird's always a welcome addition to the painting. Well, thanks again Tony for the photograph. I hope everyone liked that. Keep practicing. Any questions please ask, and I'll see you again soon.